What's up, everybody? This is Presto.
CorporalNosaj!
And you're listening to episode 82 of the Nintendads podcast. If you're listening to this and not watching it, you won't see the Stormtrooper mask on Corporal. Most of his shots usually miss, so that checks out. We got some news. We got some news to talk about this week. We got some big Mario news. We had the Super Mario Wonder. They called it a direct. I'm going to call it a mini direct because it was 15 minutes, even though it was jam-packed with stuff, which we are going to unpack. And then a whole bunch of other news. We got some Gamescom stuff to go over. We got some Starfield stuff. Happy Starfield release. If you have it on Super Duper Constellation stuff. And I'm guessing Corporal has some sort of Star Wars news that he wants to share. He's just a fan of the Republic, I suppose. Apologies, I am sniffling into a puddle with my late summer allergies. And apparently bonfires don't make my allergies less better. So, Corporal, what are you doing with the mask on? Why? What is the... I feel like this is a setup for an elaborate joke.
I want it to be an elaborate joke, but you know all of my jokes don't land. What I'm trying to point out is that I want to be in space!
Yes. Okay, so Corporal, what are you playing? Let's start with that. What are you playing? What are you not playing?
What I'm not playing, now that my mask is off and I can see you all clearly, I'm telling you, when I have this thing on, in order to see straight, I have to look like this. So I've got to actually look over here in order for the mask to look at you straight.
That's why they never hit their shot. That's why. It's not their fault. It's a helmet design.
It's a helmet design. The way the support for the nose and the pieces, I can't, maybe it's made for people with small little button noses, but not big Italian snozzes. It doesn't.
That's funny.
It doesn't work for me.
So what are you playing? I know you want to be playing Starfield.
I want to be playing Starfield, and that's why the Star Wars helmet. It's up in the stars. It is the closest thing I had to a space helmet. If I could have stolen the astronaut helmet from NASA, I would have, but I couldn't.
You talked to my name Jeff about that one.
My name is Jeff. You need to bring me an astronaut helmet.
If anybody can pull it off, it's him.
Yeah, I want to be playing Starfield so bad, but I have Xbox Game Pass and I can get it on day one of release for free. So why spend the $60 or the $32 for it early?
Because day one's not day one anymore.
Yeah, right? The only reason why I thought about paying the money for it was so that I can stream it for everybody. But then looking at how our stream schedule laid out with all the things that were going on, it wasn't worth spending the money. So I'll just wait the 2 days.
It's a long 2 days.
It is. I'm getting my phone is just constant notifications from people saying, "Hey, check this out in Starfield. Did you know you could do this in Starfield? Look what I found in Starfield." And I just want to be like, "Here's my finger. Did you find that in Starfield?"
Not the whole thing. They can only land on the fingernail, but we'll talk about that. So not playing Starfield. Well, what have you actually been playing?
I've actually been playing Bethesda's other game, Fallout.
Oh, have you?
But not only have I been playing Fallout, I've also been playing Fallout Shelter. I don't know if anybody can see that.
Oh man, that's been out for a few years. I remember when we first talked about that.
So I'm playing it on my phone while I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep, but I'm also playing it on the Xbox while I'm waiting for the kids to get ready to go. The problem is that I was up till 1 o'clock last night just playing this stupid fucking game.
Is it cross save? Does your progress
No, I've got 2 separate instances.
That is terrible.
On the computer to the phone, it can be because you can link it to a specific account. But on the Xbox, you cannot.
That's unfortunate.
And I've actually spent real world money on this. I've spent $9 so that I could have one of their starter bundle packs, which is a bunch of different things. And I exploited what I found was a glitch online, which I was able to then compound my money to double. So I ended up having like 30,000 caps, and I just spent it on upgrading my entire shelter. Something that I discovered is that as a woman, you are the only person who's able to get pregnant. But once you are pregnant, you're not allowed to fight enemies because you have to keep the baby safe. So if enemies come into your shelter, as a woman, you run away. Some of my best characters with the highest stats are all women, but I got them all pregnant. So they have to go run to the room and hide while all the poor bastard men run forward into battle. It's just stupid.
Sometimes stormtroopers do hit their shots, I guess, depending on the game.
I wanted to have an entire battlefield of angry women with assault rifles, but apparently
Amazonians. I've also been hooked on a mobile game. I talked about it it was the last stream, not the last episode, because I didn't have access to it. But Monster Hunter Now. I've been playing quite a bit of Monster Hunter Now. It's not out just yet. I think it comes out in 2 weeks. But our good buddies at Capcom, shout out to Capcom, got me some early access, and Monster Hunter Now is basically like Pokemon Go, but with Monster Hunter. They teamed up with Niantic, so it's like the same map that everyone's seen from Pokemon Go, and you go around, you hunt monsters. The gameplay is actually pretty good. The combat is actually way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I've watched some of the videos. The combat is a lot more interactive than what Pokemon is.
It is as true to Monster Hunter combat as can be with just like tapping the screen.
Yeah.
So you have all the different weapons. Not all of them. There's no gun lance. Cry. But it's pretty fun. I'm having fun with it. I'm definitely going to continue to play it when it releases. I'll be excited to play it when it releases, because you actually can do multiplayer hunts with people in the surrounding area, which I have not been able to do at all yet because there's not that many people with access right now. But so that's been super fun on mobile. And then I've been playing the hell out of Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, which is the Jet Set Radio spiritual successor, we'll call it, from Team Reptile. And
what did I compare it to?
What did you compare it to?
Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, you said it's Tony Hawk and something else, but it is. Yeah, it's got a little bit of Splatoon style, but I mean it's Jet Set Radio Future, the sequel. If you ever played any of the Jet Set Radio games, which I did not, I always liked the style, but I never seemed to have the right system to play them when they were out and popular. But it's fun. You just skate around, you do tricks, you listen to cool music, and you complete levels by doing challenges and spray painting graffiti all around New Amsterdam, which is where the story takes place. And then I've been trying to play more Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is like the big heavy game that I play when I have like a good chunk of time, and Bomb Rush is like just sort of like the mindless fun game of the moment, because I haven't really been playing that much Diablo.
I said it was a combination of Crazy Taxi, if you all remember that game from back in the day.
I loved Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, it was if Crazy Taxi and Tony Hawk Pro Skater had a baby with a paint can.
That's pretty accurate. what are you drinking? I saw you pull up a very familiar bottle to me because I have that all the time.
This is the Health Aid Kombucha. It's currently the passion fruit and tangerine one that I'm drinking. We've been drinking a lot of like healthier things because of my health lately.
Getting old. You can't put sugar in the gas tank anymore.
No, it don't work. I've got pills to stop me from doing that now.
I love kombucha. I've been drinking kombucha for years. Health Aid's good. What's the one that we get? It starts with a K. I can't think of it. It's not kombucha. No, it's not not kombucha.
We've been drinking a lot of these mushroom beers or mushroom sodas. They're mushroom based drinks and they're made purely from mushrooms. There was a root beer one that I think I made you try once before that you weren't a super fan of, but I enjoyed it. But there's also a bunch of other flavors that are made from like 3 different mushrooms. They're pretty good. I like them.
Kavita is my go-to brand for kombucha. Yeah, the mushroom. We have the Rise mushroom coffee that I have sometimes.
Okay.
Usually if I'm having that, I'll mix it with like a protein shake. So it's like a little less chalky.
What's it called?
Rise, RYSE, or RYZE maybe.
The root beer or the mushroom beers that are mushroom drinks that I'm referring to, they're called mushroom elixirs. They're made by a brand called Alive. ALIVE. Alive.
No, the one we have is like the powder that you like mix into milk, and it's supposed to be like coffee.
Gotcha.
But I just got another big thing of the what is it? The Ultima hydration powder stuff in lemonade, which is super good. That's what I'm drinking right now, and it's delicious and hydrating. So I can blow into this and it'll go. So let's talk news. So Starfield, obviously the big news this week. There's
been some mixed signals from people online.
There have been.
But I don't know if it's all as warranted as some are making it out to be.
I think it depends on. I mean, it depends on your expectations of the game and what kind of game you think you're playing. But then it also is, what did Todd Howard say it was going to be? And I haven't followed Starfield to the letter like a lot of other people have, because I have No Man's Sky. I'm happy with No Man's Sky. I might play Starfield at some point, but I didn't invest emotionally because I knew that I probably wasn't going to get into it at launch because there's a million other games. But I keep seeing clips of Todd Howard saying things about Starfield that are not true, like fully explorable planets and total freedom in space, and those things ain't true. That's not how the game works.
I hear what you're saying, and I understand why you're saying it that way. And you're not wrong, because there was some misdirection. But what I'm saying is that he's not trying to do a bait and switch, but he is misleading in some of the verbiage that is being said.
I don't know. It seems like a bigger issue than like the verbiage and the semantics, because I saw a clip where he said, "You're gonna have
welcome in."
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up. Thank you, Fate, Jeremy, for liking the stream. Marcelo, Gene. I have the alerts muted when we do episodes, so I don't really see them.
Fate Maker says Corpo's gonna be missing the entire stream because of the helmet. I missed that part.
So from what I understand, Todd Howard said that you're going to be able to go down and they have fully explorable planets, which is not true objectively. That's not like a phrasing thing. That's true, because when you land on a planet, you get a kilometer of rendered environment that you can explore. And if you go into space and you come back down right next to where you landed before, those two chunks are not connected in any way. They are instance A and instance B. And there's something in instance A, you can't see it if you're next to it in instance B. And you're going to walk and then you're going to hit an invisible wall. That's not a fully explorable planet. That is landing on a planet and getting an instance of that planet. No Man's Sky is fully explorable planets where you go down, you can explore, you can drive all the way around the planet if you want. So that doesn't seem to me like phrasing.
It seems to me like the word fully explorable planet is accurate, but how the game renders the full exploration of that planet is completely different than the open world fully exploration view that you are used to from No Man's Sky. You are looking for a seamless world. This is not a seamless world.
Okay. I will counterpoint with you that there is no planet to explore. There's a planet that functions as a seed to generate instances, but there is no explorable planet. Like, they're in the game, there's not a thing you can point to and go, there's the planet, you can go down, and we couldn't link them all. You know, we have to have loading screens because the planet is so big. No, you go down, the planet is essentially a seed that generates independent functioning instances.
And then you can go up and go back down to the next instance, and go up and go back down to the next instance, and so forth.
Those aren't tied together other than the seed that is generating them. They are not actually connected to each other. They are independent instances that have similarity in traits to make it look like they're one cohesive.
You're referring
thing.
to, like, if I were to land on point A, walk all the way to the end, and I can see a tree in the distance, go up in space, fly over, come back down, that tree may not be there because it generated something new.
Yes, it will not be there. It will be different.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Perfect example, the classic Breath of the Wild example. Oh, I see that mountain over there. I can get to that mountain. That's not how planets work. If you see a mountain in
Starfield,
the next time you drag in, the landscape may look totally different. Yep. Also, exploring in space, free exploration in space, that's not true either. Because it's the same when you're in space. If you see a planet or the sun or something far away, you can just drive towards it and you'll never make any progress. Like, you can't get to stars. They are graphics. They're not in space. Apparently, Alana Pierce said that, and then they're like, no, you can get to the sun if you leave your computer on for, like, 6 months and you just drive, but when you get to the star, it's not a star, it's just a picture of a star, and you clip through it. That's a yikes moment for me. Hold on, my dog just opened my door. I don't know. I am playing the harsher than usual critic because I don't have a horse in the race. I'm sure it's a fun game. Everybody has said it's a fun game, but there's some things that aren't quite what they're supposed to be.
So I'll say this. Tri Kingdom actually said it best. This is a Bethesda game. If you have ever played any other Bethesda game, you know exactly what you're going to get, and you're going to be happy because that's exactly what they delivered. But if you are coming from this from any other viewpoint, other than it's a Bethesda game, then you're going to be disappointed.
See, I've never played a Bethesda game. I've not played Skyrim. I've not played Fallout. I've not played
Mass
Effect. I don't know.
It's just their thing.
I'm not drinking the Bethesda Kool-Aid. I guess.
So
I bet you if I played it, I would really enjoy it, but I would also be like, a lot of the promotion for this was bullshit.
yeah, you cannot go into this game thinking that this is in any way, shape, or form something like No Man's Sky.
But they've been working on it for 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
How are you going to clip through the sun after 10 years? In early access, like $100 game.
I wish that it had some of the No Man's Sky-esque abilities, but unfortunately it doesn't. I just want to say shout out to everybody who's watching over on Facebook. Thank you all for coming in. CorporalNosaj, Presto, we are the Nintendads, and we are breaking down all of the great things in the video game.
We need to move along because it's a long list, and we've spent the majority of our time hitting the piñata that is Starfield. So
I'm excited to play it.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for you to play it. I'm excited to watch you play it and do your Bethesda things.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably play it at some point, especially because it's on Game Pass. I can definitely see myself being like, all right, it's Starfield month, baby. $10, let's go. There's no multiplayer though. That seems like a missed opportunity. Yeah. But I mean,
Fate Maker said he had a hard time putting Baldur's Gate 3 down yesterday. I wonder what you were doing that kept you so hooked.
Romancing Karlach, obviously. Obviously.
Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game.
So Hyper Light Breaker, that's a game we've talked about a bunch. The early access has been pushed back to 2024, which I'm actually thankful for. I don't want any more games to come out in 2023. I'm at max capacity, and I have been for like 3 months. Please let me sleep.
The amount of exciting things that are on our list for the Switch and otherwise is too much.
It's nuts. But speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, happy Baldur's Gate 3 release to you console folk. Baldur's Gate 3 is now out on PS5. So everybody who's been chomping at the bit watching people play it on PC for the last month now have it, right? Is it fully out or is it early access still?
I thought it's early access. I don't think it's fully out until
the 6th
or the 7th.
So some people have it. Everybody else is going to get it in a couple days. I am chomping at the bit to play more, but I have not had time. I was on vacation. I've been planning my son's birthday party. And
I was on vacation.
Right? Who are we?
Well, horrible. Speaking of which, if you're expecting me to stay here for very long, I've got another vacation at the end of September. I'm sorry. I'm going to be gone for a whole week that time. So you're going to have to deal with just Presto at the end of the month.
Wait, this is the end of September?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The 30th all the way through the first week of October.
You're going to leave our audience alone with me right after the Cyberpunk 2077 DLC comes out. You see this? I have the art book, and it's full of violence and nudity, and you're gonna disappear and leave me alone with them.
While everyone in our community is forced to just watch you play Cyberpunk 77. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't stop him.
You're just gonna be on your vacation, just be like, what are all these strikes against our account? Why? What's happening?
Nudity strike, violence.
Tom, welcome in. There's
Tom.
so many people on Facebook watching us. We appreciate you, but there's nobody in the chat saying anything. Is the chat working?
The chat is silent.
Hold on, I'm gonna test it. Okay, there we go. Okay. People lurk on Facebook. There we go. Now the chat's full. But yeah, Baldur's Gate is out. Everybody's enjoying it. Well, not everybody. Half the people are. We need to play more. I want to do more co-op. They added...
Can we just point out, before you say anything, let's just point out the fact that Diablo was the biggest game that dropped, and it disappeared with the wind the moment Baldur's Gate dropped.
Well, I mean, you can only give Baldur's Gate so much credit for that because the Diablo team like loaded 2 guns and shot themselves in both feet.
Yeah.
They gotta. I'm still very interested in Diablo, but like, they gotta add some stuff.
Yeah.
Add some stuff. They gotta
the
fix some
gaming
stuff.
community definitely dropped off.
Nope, sorry, not working. So, what else is on the news list? Oh, a new Street Fighter 6 character, Aki, is coming out September 27th. She's like a snake poison character. She looks cool. I'm more interested in playing her than I was playing Rashid. I think she's going to be strong, and I think she's going to be very strong with modern controls, which is what I play with. So that will also be when Corporal goes on vacation. So it's just going to be Cyberpunk and Street Fighter. Here's something to talk about. Damn, are we ever going to get to the actual, like... I guess this is the news episode, so this is all counts. PlayStation Plus increased their prices.
Fate Maker, I apologize to you in advance. I know you're a PlayStation fanboy. I'm an Xbox fanboy, so I'll be able to keep my wallet. You will not.
Oh, Diablo 4 had a lot of people... has a lot to add before people come back. Yeah. Adding the new class. Yeah, they added a cool new class to Immortal, but not to 4, which... Yeah, they need to get endgame. And that's what I stopped playing, is when you hit the point where you're about to get to World Tier 3, and you've already done all the World Tier 3 stuff, like Legions and bosses and stuff like that. It's like, there's between, like... After you've done that initial wave of stuff, between, like, level 60 and 100, like, there's no point in doing it. There's not a lot of added stuff there. But yeah, PlayStation Plus increased their prices. So PlayStation Plus is what you need to play online for PlayStation, and it functions as sort of like a Game Pass for PlayStation. They increased the basic cost. This is in US dollars, so poor Fate has to pay even more because he's in Canada. Base cost from 60 to 80. That's just to play with your friends online. PlayStation Plus Extra is going from 100 to 135, and Premium is going from 120 to 160. And they're not really adding anything. There's not, like, are they saying this is like inflation? I don't really see how they're justifying this, but what I do see is Baldur's Gate 3 with online co-op, the biggest game of the year, likely game of the year, about to release on PlayStation, and that's when they decide to raise their prices. So are they holding Baldur's Gate 3 multiplayer hostage? I'm being cynical. I don't think I think this was probably in the works and it just happened to coincide with Baldur's Gate 3, but it's really a bad look, I think. That it's like, oh, that big game that you've been waiting for 3 years finally comes out. You're gonna have to pay extra though to play it online. What do you think? Do you think it's
it's a
hostage situation?
Fate Maker is pointing out over on Twitch how PlayStation Plus Extra is now the same cost as Xbox's Game Pass Ultimate. And these are key words to point out, because there's Xbox Game Pass and then there's Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is console and PC, and it's all legacy content.
And you get the EA
access,
Game Pass,
yes.
or EA access.
So, and that is $17 a month. Now, if you do the math, that cost is actually more than what PlayStation's charge is. The catch is that Xbox allows you to do a pay the year in full amount. And if you pay the year in full amount, there's like a 30% discount that gets added to that. So if you pay the year in full amount on Xbox, it ends up being cheaper than what PlayStation is offering. But he's right to the same point that both of them have an extremely high cost. They hide it behind their monthly rate or their year in full discount amount. But I mean,
I think Xbox's library is you get way more.
There's an argument to be made there. PlayStation has a lot more story-based, story-driven library than Xbox does. Xbox has a lot more multiplayer library or like shooter like online multiplayer type things. But there's also more content that is liked on PlayStation by the masses than there is on Xbox.
That's true.
So
I don't know. I think you'd be hard pressed if you had somebody on an island and they could only choose to have Game Pass or PlayStation Plus. I think the majority, like 70-80% of people would choose Game Pass over PlayStation Plus. I think the only people who would choose PlayStation Plus over Game Pass are people who own PlayStation 5s and not a PC or Xbox. I think that's probably the thing. What? Why are you?
Something's going on Twitch. For some reason, your camera is frozen.
Why? Click on Discord. I bet it'll reload the camera.
I've got Discord open.
Like, click on it though. Like, bring it up as the active window. Huh?
It's been the active window the whole time.
Maybe click on OBS or Streamlabs.
Let's see.
Sorry, podcast people. We don't edit our episodes. You're getting the realist, the raw, uncut. I'll go through the last little news bump before we go into the Super Mario Direct news. Wizard with a gun, which makes me laugh every time I say it.
Oh, yeah.
Wizard with a gun finally got a release date after like a year. It's going to be October 17th, which is very unfortunate because that's 3 days before Mario Wonder comes out. Which means Wizard with a Gun is definitely going on my I'll play it someday list. Which is right up there with Neon White, which I also am maybe never gonna play.
You were excited about it when it was announced, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still interested in playing it, but a big part of it is that it's multiplayer co-op, and there's too many games to, like, if we have an hour a week to play a game, we're gonna be playing Baldur's Gate. We're going to be playing not Wizard with a Gun. It looks really good, though. I don't want to bash it. I'm not trying to downplay it. It looks really cool. It's a roguelike. There's base building. You're a wizard with a gun. Like, what? It doesn't get much cooler than that. But damn, I wish they weren't releasing it on top of Mario Wonder because that's not going to work.
Just to touch base back on the PlayStation topic real quick, because Fate Makers, I'm now getting caught up here. Yes, Fate, PlayStation 5 dominates the sales market right now over a large margin of Xbox.
100%, yes.
Xbox, by numbers, has a larger game base because of all the other companies that they've brought into the fold. And they did that purposely because they're promoting their Game Pass platform. And we've talked so much about Todd Howard, I got him on my brain. Phil Spencer has said that he is positioning Microsoft's Xbox console system not in a console gaming war, but more in a gaming service where there's going to be a larger game diversity. And that's exactly what they've done. But I agree with you. PlayStation has dominated the market over and over
yeah,
again.
PlayStation won the console war, and I really can't like PlayStation and Xbox have gone back and forth throughout the years, and you'd be like, oh well, Xbox One beat PlayStation 3 or whatever the equivalent was.
Mhm.
and they've gone back and forth. But I think, and they were going head to head again. People were like, "Oh, what's going to win, PlayStation 5 or Xbox S, Xbox S X?" And it's like PlayStation has won that so definitively that I really don't even think there's going to be that situation ever again. I think this last time PlayStation got both feet on top of the hill and said, "We are the definitive high performance console." Period.
That's fine.
Nintendo, it's not in this fight. They are doing their own thing.
I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter who wins the quote unquote console war. I despise the PlayStation UI. I hate it. I hate it. I've got every version of PlayStation downstairs that you can dream of, and every single one of them suck. I can pick up my Xbox and I know exactly what I'm doing every single time. PlayStation, I gotta hit a button to figure out how I'm gonna shut the damn thing down.
Where does the Switch? Crazy. Where does the Switch rank in that?
The Switch, I think, is better than the Xbox. The Switch has a better UI than the Xbox does.
Than the Xbox or PlayStation?
Than both.
Really?
Because the Switch's UI is so much more.
Because the Switch doesn't do anything. It doesn't have. You pick a game. What else is there to do?
Xbox also just recently revamped their user dashboard, and I think that they hid more things in submenus in order to clean up their main screen, which just made navigating more difficult. Like I don't know why people keep trying to like change things. It works, leave it alone. Nintendo knows what they're doing. That's why we're called the Nintendads.
Fair enough. There is a rumor, it's not on our list, but now that we're talking about this, there is a rumor this week that I think it's Square Enix being a big supporter of the Switch. A lot of the Final Fantasy games have come to the Switch. Like, Square Enix has been good with Nintendo and the Switch throughout the thing. Supposedly, Square Enix has developer tools, meaning they have the interface and the environment to start developing games for the next generation of the Switch, which is going to be like a Switch 2 kind of thing. And like I've kind of like written off Switch Pro or Switch 2 rumors because they've been going on for years. Yeah. And if we cover them every time they come up, that's every episode we're going to have a new rumor to talk about.
Yep.
But this one seems a little bit more legit, and we are now officially reaching that time period where if they announced, early next year or even this holiday that they were going to have a new Switch console coming out next year, I wouldn't be that surprised. And we talked about this on kind of a recent episode about what you would want out of a new Switch console.
So something to which screen is it? Okay, here it is. Something to bring up. I have my Switch, which is the Zelda Switch that I just recently got, which is the OLED Switch. I've got my backup Switch, my original Switch, which is a Generation 1 original Switch when it was released.
I got that one
downstairs. I'll be honest with you, because of where my little kids are at and where my family as a whole is at, I am right on the precipice to needing to buy another Switch so that Sushi Cat is able to play with all of us. Now,
just wait for the next one to come out.
Yes, that's exactly my point, is that I'm purposely holding off so that I can do that with her, and we can have, so that Sushi Cat, Little Red, and even Lady Sage, like the two of us, been using the two Switches to play Stardew Valley together. I mean, there's a lot of family dynamic that's around our Switch that I think works really well.
And that's why the console is so successful, right? Is it hits a bunch of different notes in the family side. I mean, again, Nintendads, like it's there you go. And welcome in, and Rich, N-A-E-N. Hey, hello. All right. With no further ado, Super Mario Wonder. I did not think we were getting a new 2D Mario game this year. I feel like this did just get announced, right?
Yep.
This got announced we covered the announcement of this on our last episode. They revealed a ton more details in the direct, which we're going to go over, and then it comes out October 20th. I feel like this is a super short marketing run from Nintendo, and I'm kind of a fan of it. It's the exact opposite of, I think this might be Nintendo learning their lesson from Splatoon 3 and Mario Strikers, where they announce a game, they announce a bunch of cool stuff about the game, and then they sit with their head down for 3 months, and then they pop back up right before it comes out and be like, oh yeah, this game makes burgers. And then people are like, what? And then the game comes out and it sucks anyway. But I like I like the proximity, and I like that we're getting concentrated information, and now we're already close to release.
Going back to... Okay. I just got handed a pancake. Sure.
It's 12:30.
Pancake.
You guys are in a different plane of existence in Florida, I swear.
Yeah. Ooh. Smells good.
I can't smell anything.
Fate Maker points out that PlayStation Handheld is also coming out this year too, talking about the handheld console.
It's not a handheld console, it's a remote control.
With a screen.
Yes. It's the Wii U controller.
Maple syrup.
Ooh.
Only way to do it.
Maple.
So yes, I'm sorry. We were Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Wonder. October 20th, it's coming out. The new direct came out. It was 15 minutes long. It was chocked full of stuff.
It was spectacular.
It was, yeah. I was really. This is the direct on just this game has outperformed, I would say, the majority of the directs that Nintendo's done in the last couple of years.
Nintendo may be winning the console war on every front, but they fail spectacularly when it comes to their news cycle and releasing of information.
Yeah, I feel like I do feel like they're starting to learn based on how they're promoting Mario Wonder. And it also might just be like they know it's a 2D Mario game and it's going to sell like hotcakes. And dude, they're just like, all right, we only need 3 months to promote this game because we don't need any longer. It's a new 2D Mario game.
Yep.
Okay, rundown of information because we're gonna.
I real quick, just not to deep dive into Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but
we're about to.
How phenomenal is this game for the family?
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This has been. This is like Super Mario 3D World was great. I kind of scoffed at it because I'd never played it when it was getting re-released for the Switch, and then we rented it from the library and just mercilessly beat the piss out of that game for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
But so Mario Wonder is they revealed that the game is going to take place over 7 areas, and you can almost guarantee that there's going to be another post-game secret area because that's how Mario games typically are. So, but the Flower Kingdom, it's not the Mushroom Kingdom, it's the Flower Kingdom, which is the whole gimmick of like the Wonder Seeds and the Wonder Flower. Throughout the level, they're going to have little flowers that are like have recorded voice lines. So you're going to be walking through and the flowers are going to be like, hey there, above and beyond, and like they're gonna give you hints about how to do things in the levels, which is interesting because and it's gonna be like subtitled, so you don't have to have volume on to be able to hear, but that is interesting because I think that's going to add a lot of density to these maps, to the levels. Because usually you just run through the Mario level, maybe there's one little section where you have to do something, but these are going to add like little mini instances of puzzles and challenges throughout the levels. And I just hope it doesn't get annoying because all the flowers have the exact same voice.
The fairy from Zelda.
Yes,
Listen!
yeah. Hi! Hi!
Go on.
I was gonna say you're able to play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, 2 different color Toads, Toadettes, Yoshi, and Nabbit.
I think
Unlocked from the start.
I think the diversity of character play is spectacular. It's something that you haven't seen very often in Mario. The first time I think they really did it, and they did it well, was Mario 3. But what they did with the Wii, where you're able to have the 4 multiplayer characters in the Wii, was the platform that allowed this to happen. I love the diversity of play. I think it's great for, the kids to choose who they want. I don't want to be the second-rate Mario. I don't want to be Luigi. You know what I mean? But now there's other choices that are cool. But Nabbit and Yoshi being added to the game, they added, just to clarify, they added an extra layer just to those 2 characters. They're invincible. So you as the dad can play Mario, and you as the kid can play Yoshi. And while dad can take damage, Yoshi doesn't need to take damage, and he can keep playing through the level with your kids and not having to worry about whether or not they die every 5 minutes.
So, yeah, I think that's super cool feature. That is probably what my kid is going to be playing on for part of the time. I'm going to force him to play a character that you have to play fair with. Yoshi and Nabbit can still die if they fall off the level.
Yes.
If they fall in a pit, they can lose a life. And they're not fully invincible. They can take hits. So if you're running and you run into a monster or Goomba or whatever, you get knocked over, but it doesn't do anything. It just like slows you down.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, because you can ride, if somebody's playing Yoshi, you can ride on Yoshi as other characters. And so if you're riding on Yoshi and you guys get hit, does that just pop the other character off? The other character doesn't take damage? Because that becomes really cheesy. Because if I'm little Mario, I've already gotten hit once and my next hit's gonna kill me, and I hop on Yoshi, now do I just, and then I get hit and I fly off and then I hop on Yoshi. Now I can get hit essentially an infinite amount of times. So I don't think that's going to be the case.
No.
But at the same time, when you get in, this is like 3D World, where if you get hit, you become a ghost. In 3D World, it was you were in a bubble, but you become a ghost. And then when the other player touches you, then you get brought back to life. So I guess it almost doesn't matter, because Yoshi's always going to be available to bring you back to life anyway.
Yeah.
But it adds some different elements, and it adds a really easy way for kids to jump in and play who are younger or not as skilled.
Can we just point out that with the diversity of characters we have and those options, but still being able to have multiplayer in this game, couch co-op and online co-op?
Oh boy, we're gonna get to the multiplayer, because the multiplayer, this is the biggest commitment to multiplayer Nintendo has made in a Mario game.
Yes.
Like,
they did it. They did have a multiplayer option with what's their board game?
Mario Party.
Mario Party. But it's a turn-based game, so lag wasn't that big of an issue. This is not that.
Yes. Well, yeah, there's some concerns with that as well. But we'll get, I want to save multiplayer for last, because there's a lot of it. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to multiplayer. New power-ups. We got Corporal's favorite, the elephant. Mario turns into an elephant. All the characters turn into an elephant. My favorite, which is the bubble power up. The bubble allows you to shoot bubbles to capture enemies, but you can also shoot the bubbles and then jump off of the bubbles to access different areas. And I think that's going to be a big part of finding hidden stuff, is going back and using bubbles, which is going to make me just super paranoid. Every level I'm going to be jumping off into the sky with my bubbles trying to find some secret thing that may or may not be there. And then you have the drill, which allows you to... It's kind of like the helmet in the past games where you can get hit in the head and it doesn't hurt you, but you can also drill underground and like tunnel for stuff. And then the elephant makes you big and you can hit things with your trunk and you can spray water. And why don't you like the elephant, Corporal?
It's just chunky. I don't know. It just seems gimmicky. Like, I just walk through blocks, blah, 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 blah.
It does seem slightly out of place or random. But if you think about the history of Mario power-ups, right?
It's like Kirby turning into a car. Like, why?
Okay, yeah. But
why?
Also, think about the history of Mario power-ups. You have the mushroom, makes you big. You have a flower that lets you shoot fireballs. Okay. You have a feather that gives you a cape. You have a leaf that turns you into a raccoon that can fly. Like, when you think about it like that, the elephant doesn't seem that weird.
No, yeah, it's just an acid trip getting worse and worse.
Cat Mario.
Yep.
Yeah. So the power-ups, the new power-ups will be interesting. You can also hold on to power-ups now. You can keep an extra in your back pocket of your overalls to swap out as you see fit. The Wonder Flower is something that's going to be in the levels. That's sort of like the hidden element where you take it, Mario drops acid, the whole level just starts doing funky stuff. Every level is going to have like a crazy gimmick where the world turns upside down or everything starts moving. And then Wonder Seeds are what you're going to have to do to complete the challenge, set the world back to normal. And then Wonder Seeds are kind of like the stars of this game. So that's going to be what you're collecting to progress levels. That's what you're going to be collecting to like purchase items and unlock things, is going to be the Wonder Seeds. So each level is going to have, you probably get one Wonder Seed from beating it, and then you're going to go back to it, and if you can find the Wonder Flower and complete like the Wonder Flower version of the level, then you get another seed. And then there'll probably be other ways to get other seeds. But that seems to be sort of the structure of the levels, which... yeah, we're going to have to deal with a lot of gimmicks. We're going to have to deal with a lot of gimmicky mini games that aren't necessarily like tried and true platforming challenges, but like, okay, you're a balloon. Have fun floating through the desert without getting popped by a cactus.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be great for diversity, but like, I just hope it doesn't get tiresome, you know what I mean? Like, if you just want to sit down and play Mario, but you're forced playing all these weird things, you know what I mean? I don't want to play Elephant Simulator either.
I do like the badges that they've added to the game. Having badges in the game gives a skill tree depth to it.
I think badges are one of the coolest things. Besides all the stuff with multiplayer, I think badges are genius.
Yes.
Badges are going to add so much depth. It's going to add so many different options. So badges, let's clarify if you didn't see the direct. When you go into a level, you're going to be able to equip the badge, and you're going to collect the badges by doing challenges or buying them with the Wonder Seeds or coins. And like one badge is going to be like a wall jump, or you're invisible, or you can glide, or you have a grapple vine. And there's going to be so many instances where you need to play a level with a specific badge equipped in order to unlock something. And in order to get that badge, you're going to have to go to another level and beat a challenge. And maybe You need the Vine badge to get this thing, to get this challenge that unlocks the high jump badge, and then use the high jump badge to unlock this thing to get the invisibility badge. And it's just like, it's going to get really complicated really quickly, and that means a lot of replayability, which is great. Depth. And then the last big feature, multiplayer.
Yeah.
This was unexpected.
So, I kind of felt like this was long overdue, but I just never thought that Nintendo would actually do it.
Well, and they did it in ways that were not how I would expect Nintendo to do it. So you have your standard 4-player, multiplayer, local co-op. You have 4-player online. But then they start talking about this persistent online mode. Like, you could play the game.
4-player online by itself is worth talking about for Mario.
Well, the 3D World had 4-player online.
Yeah, but
it was bad.
It was bad. Exactly. I want to know how good this is going to be, whether or not there's going to be an improvement, whether or not there's latency issues.
And that, I feel like, is going to be a make or break thing for how much I mean, the game is going to be great. I'm going to play the majority of multiplayer with my son locally.
Yep.
But depending on how good the multiplayer is online in this game is going to determine whether you see 2 co-op streams of us playing through this game, or you see 20 co-op streams. Because if this has the same quality of multiplayer as past Mario titles, like Mario Maker 2 online multiplayer was unplayable.
Yeah.
If you had a hard level where everybody needed to make a jump, like that was a wash. So I really, really hope they got it right. I feel like they're putting so much emphasis on multiplayer, and they've dedicated a lot of resources to multiplayer, that it has to be solid. But I said the same thing about a little game called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. How they totally reworked the online, they made lobbies, they made rankings. Surely if they put all this effort into making all these features around online, the core function of how the game plays online should be solid. Same thing with another little game called Splatoon 3. Not a great track record, but I remain naively optimistic.
I mean, they did okay with Monster Hunter, so chances are is that maybe they've learned their lesson.
It's because Monster Hunter is a Capcom game.
Yeah.
They weren't in charge of the quality of the multiplayer there. Capcom was.
It's true. That's true.
And I feel like Monster Hunter even has more flexibility in the multiplayer. If there's lag, it's not going to cause you to fail the whole level. This is tight platforming, and it will cause you to wipe the whole level if it's not on point. But anyway, so when you turn on online mode, you're going to be able to see other characters in the world, like hundreds, thousands of other characters, other people playing the game in the overworld running around, and in your level as like shadows.
This is cool. The persistent online thing is cool.
Online players are going to be able to bring you back to life if you die, which is wild. They're going to be able to give you spare power-ups, which is crazy. And then they're also going to have a standee, which is like a cardboard cutout that you can drop in the level, and then other people in multiplayer can go to that cardboard cutout and revive themselves if they die. And then you're going to have a social score.
Don't read it. Don't. Saving it for later so it doesn't get lost.
Okay. You're going to have a social score of like a heart score that shows how many other players you've helped. So the general online, like, you're going to sit down and play this game, and you're going to go online, and then it's going to be a multiplayer experience, even if you're not playing with your friends. and that is new
Mm-hmm.
for Mario in general. Do you think that's how you're going to be playing the game most of the time?
So I wonder if it will add too much of an ease to the game. Already with all these extra features and all these replayabilities and all these other things, it sounds like the game is going to be harder to play because of all these extra things that they're giving the game. And these extra things that they're giving the game will help balance the difficulty level. But I'm wondering if all these abilities to be saved is going to make the game too easy. I'm curious how all this is going to balance out, is what I'm saying. I think it's a great concept. I think it's phenomenal. I think being able to play online in that way will allow other people to like feel connected to the game space that they're playing in. And yeah, sure, I've got no problem playing the game that way just because it gives more accessibility. I just want to know how the difficulty level will pan out with this.
Yeah, it might be too easy if you're in a really hard level and you're dying every couple of minutes.
But somebody keeps saving.
Yeah, but then you're just immediately brought back to life.
Yeah.
I also wonder if, like, depending on how long the game is, like, in the beginning, when the game first comes out, it's going to be chaos because everybody's going to be progressing at generally the same rate, having got the game. So it's going to be like every level you play as you go through is going to be packed. I wonder a month or two after the game is out, if you're in the last quarter of the game or you're in the last world of the game, if the levels are still going to be flooded with people and that at any point you die, there's going to be another player to pick you back up, or if eventually the game has so much content that the player base is more evenly spread out to where if you're doing a level and you die and another player happens to be there to revive you, it's like a really cool moment, you know? Because if you die and 4 out of 5 times there's nobody there to revive you, that 5th time where somebody actually is there is going to be hype as hell.
Yeah.
That's what I hope for. I hope for, in the beginning it's going to be chaos, but I think a couple months in, the sparsity, that's not a word.
Yeah. Sparsity.
The sparseness of the assistance you're going to get from other players will hopefully make that assistance meaningful.
Yeah.
I still kind of think this game's going to be so popular that you're always going to have people to revive you no matter what. But I don't know.
I just can't wait to play with Little Red and Sushi Cat.
It's gonna be so. I just hope. Please make online good. That's all I want. That's all I want. That why is it every time a new game comes out for the Switch that's a Nintendo first party game, it's just me doing that? Please make the online good. Please make it good.
John Tendo is raiding the Twitch stream with a party of 4. Welcome in, John Tendo.
Let's go. Thank you so much for the raid. What's up?
Welcome in, man.
Right before we started, we were reviewing the notes. I said, I go, John Tendo's playing Monster Hunter. I want to play Monster Hunter with him. I want to jump into his lobby. That's so funny. Thank you for the raid. What you said. Welcome Raiders. How did the hunts go, my friend? I've been playing a little Rise. I've been playing Rise here and there because I started playing Monster Hunter now on mobile. And it just makes me want to play Rise because it's amazing. Every time I pick up Rise, it's a good time. Unless I'm trying to learn Longsword.
We've been slaying some monsters. We failed 2, but had 3 good hunts.
Oh man, I gotta get in with you next time. The next time I see that you're online playing Monster Hunter, I will jump into your lobby and blow everything up with the gun lance. But Raiders, welcome in. We're the Nintendads. This is an episode of our podcast.
And we're a live stream.
We're passionate, but we're lazy, and our episodes don't get edited. Maybe we'll start editing again someday. But this episode is live, and we'll go live to Spotify and Apple and all the podcasty places. But right now we're talking about Super Mario Wonder and how I hope the multiplayer is good. And so here's something that someone said about the multiplayer that I didn't realize, and I have to go back to the direct and see if this was explicitly said or if this is like details on the website. So you're going to be able to create a private room with your friends, like a lobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be able to play with 4 people in a level. However, the lobbies are going to be 12 players. You're going to be able to have significantly more players in your private lobby than you're able to have in a single run. So you're going to be able to have a lobby of I think it was 12 that I heard. It may have been
online players, like an online lobby of 12.
Yes, and then
how many playable characters are there?
There's Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Toad, Yoshi, Nabbit.
So that's 6.
Toadette.
7.
So, but that's what I'm saying is you have a lobby, and then when you go 4 people, so say we have 10 people in a lobby, somebody picks a level and says, okay, I want to do level 3-2. 3 other people from the lobby are going to jump in, choose their characters, and now those 4 people are playing that level. The remaining people in the lobby, somebody else is going to go, okay, I'm still in the beginning of the game, I'm going to do level 1-4. Who wants to do that with me? 3 more people join them. So you're going to have a lobby of people who can all see and talk to each other and pick levels, and then you're going to have instances of levels.
Did you just say talk?
Well, I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of communication. I'm assuming it's not going to be...
Nintendo is not going to use this IP to release their first in-game converse.
There was voice chat in Smash Ultimate. Nobody used it because it sounds like a garbage truck, but it was there.
That's true. That's true.
Splatoon 3 had voice chat using Nintendo's app.
Yeah,
that also nobody used. So it's possible. But I'm gonna look into this real quick. But the point is that you're gonna be able to have a bunch of people in a lobby.
Mm-hmm.
Doing different things,
I didn't realize you can do different things. I thought it was like all in one game instance.
That's what I thought too. And I don't think this thing that we're talking about was in the trailer, but I saw someone else talking about it.
Because if there's 6 or 7 playable characters in the game, it makes sense that if you've got 7 people in the lobby, all 7 of you can, or 6 of you can play at the same time.
Yeah,
that makes sense to me.
Here it is from Screen Rant, which is reputable enough that I think there will be accurate information. A private lobby can hold up to 12 players, 12 friends, who can break off into groups of 4 and enter levels together. The online and local play can be combined with 2 people per Nintendo Switch able to connect.
Oh. So you could have 6 internet parties, but each internet party of 2, which is where the number 12 comes from.
Yes.
Interesting.
Or you can have 12 single systems with 1 person each. So that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
That is pretty cool. That's exciting. I think that's very exciting. Especially when you consider the fact that when you start a level, if all the players agree to it, and I guess it's going to be some kind of a voting system, you can start any level as a race.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So there's going to be the one group that just wants to play together and help each other, and then there's going to be the group that I'm in that wants to race and see who can do it the fastest and make it competitive, and the losers have to drink. The losers have to drink. They have to chug their drink for the amount of seconds that correlates to the placement of their thing. So if you got in 4th place, you have to drink for 4 seconds. 2nd place only has to do 2 seconds. I think that's pretty fair, right?
I think Presto's trying to kill livers here.
I'm just
While I may be a secret sponsor for Redguard, I think maybe you're a secret sponsor for the black market liver trade.
Maybe. But yeah, I think so. I think multiplayer, both with friends and the private lobby system and the persistent online mode. I mean, this is the most I've ever talked about online multiplayer for a Mario game.
Yeah,
which I like. I think that's going to be really cool. As long as the core gameplay is good.
Yeah. Core online gameplay is good.
They can add whatever bells and whistles to multiplayer they want, but at the end of the day, if we start a level and there's lag, those features mean nothing. Yep. And that's a sad, stark reality that we may have to live in. I'm looking at you, Smash Brothers. Where are you? I don't even have it up ever there because it irritates me so much. But yeah, as long as they can do a decent job of making sure the actual gameplay is smooth online, which I'm skeptical about with 4 people, then it's gonna be great. There's also a new all red, which is so tempting as our lovely red logo bops along here. There's an all red special edition Nintendads Switch that looks really cool that I'm going to do my best not to purchase, but no promises. It's going to be the OLED version too, so it's going to be nice.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this last part?
Yeah.
The last part of our episode today, and this is going to be more of a shotgun approach compared to the rest of this episode, was Gamescom 2023, and there were a bunch of things announced, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things that we're not going to talk about. Not that any of it was bad, it's just like if you're really interested in something specific, you already know about it. These are just the highlights per se.
Yeah. Diablo 4 Season 2 trailer, The Season of Blood.
Sure.
Watch out for the blood. If they add, hopefully they add something besides blood to the end game. I think they announced some interesting stuff. They announced 5 new like end game bosses. They announced a bunch of other relevant stuff. Season. Is it a vampire season? I guess
it's bloody.
Blood.
Tekken 8 got a release date for January 26, 2024.
Tekken 8. I did have a comment about this. So it's a good time to be a fighting game player because you had Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, Tekken 8. And if you look at the release dates, you will notice a pattern that what are you doing?
I just realized what it looks like on camera. There's like this stain on the desk of my the wood grain of my desk, and it's like syrupy, and I'm rubbing the syrup like off of the desk. It's
Corporal's really excited for Tekken 8. But Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter are all, I don't know if it's exactly, but they are just about 3 months apart from each other in every instance, where you have Street Fighter 3 months, Mortal Kombat 3 months, Tekken 8. And that's 100% publishers and developers actually communicating, which the fighting game, I talk about fighting games like it's a main genre of game, but it's not. Fighting games are so niche and so fringe, and the player base is so incredibly small compared to battle royales and first-person shooters and Final Fantasies of the world. So the fighting game community really can't afford to be stepping on their own feet.
Toes.
Yeah. So I fully appreciate that they spaced out these release dates. I'm not a Tekken player. I'm I'm barely considering Mortal Kombat. But I do love to see fighting games come out.
Tri-Kingdom Gaming is all over this. When
Oh
it comes out.
yeah. I'll give it a try. If there's a demo or an open beta weekend or something, I will definitely give it a try. But so that's gonna be one of the first big games to come out in 2024, which is good that they're like staking their claim early.
Yeah.
The Crew Motorfest release date trailer.
I put this on this list purely because we've played the Crew. You've played the Crew, and also
I have not played the Crew.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then it was me. But it's also a racing game ish. So we did our racing episode, and we had a huge stint where we went down that drug hole.
It does look really cool.
It does.
I will say it's got big Horizon 5 vibes though.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the like trailer, first of all, it's called The Crew Motorfest, which is exactly what Horizon 5 is. It looks like it's in some kind of tropical island with bright colors, maybe Mexico, which is where Horizon 5 is. I think Horizon 5 was so big that the Crew might be taking a little too much direction.
Maybe.
We'll see.
It looked good.
I'd play it if it was on Game Pass or if I had access to it through a review copy.
The next game on the list is Alan Awake 2. There was a trailer that came out for those Alan Awake fans.
Alan Wake, not Alan Awake.
Yeah. Alan Wake. Sorry.
Alan's awake. Everybody.
Alan, wake up, Alan!
Susan's awake. Is Alan awake too? Alan Awake 2.
Assassin's Creed Mirage got another trailer.
Alan's asleep.
I am a huge fan of Assassin's Creed series. I'm a big Ubisoft fan. They've done their stumble. I'm okay with it. I'm excited for the next direction. I'll be honest with you, I haven't played enough of the more recent Assassin's Creed games. I am falling behind on everything else that I have. I own them all. They sit in my library. I just haven't touched them. But I'm excited for the next seasons of Assassin's Creed games that are coming out. The trailer was a story trailer, kind of going in depth about what the aspect is. Mirage goes back to like the 1500s, and it goes back to Jerusalem, which is cool because that's where Assassin's Creed 1 was. So I'm excited.
Hold on. Are you aware? So I just looked Assassin's Creed Mirage up because I've literally heard or seen nothing about this game because I tune out as soon as I hear Assassin's Creed. But Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to have a $50 price tag.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft highlights that it isn't a massive 100-hour open world RPG like Valhalla or the two Assassin's Creed games that came before it, but it's still a full release.
So, Assassin's Creed 1, if you want to measure a game by size and by hours, Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed Mirage, which have now taken place almost, as far as game releases go, like 15-something years apart. Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be about the same size of game as Assassin's Creed 1, which is why... And when they... just last year, when they announced the next set of games, they announced that there's going to be a game, which there's going to be a light game, then there's going to be almost a mobile-esque game, and then there's going to be two full-size games. So they announced 4 games, but each one is a different style of game.
Too many.
One of them is Japanese rural Japan feudal ninja style. One of them is back in
dinosaurs.
No.
Why haven't they done dinosaurs yet?
Jerusalem. One of them I think is like
Ice
modern
Age.
China or something, and I can't remember where the fourth one
Why
is.
haven't they done the dinosaur one yet? They've done pirates, they've done medieval, they've done Sassanach style Revolutionary War. They're running out of themes.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be a dinosaur one.
If I had my
Ubisoft
own way,
will get desperate enough to do a dinosaur Assassin's Creed.
if
Revenge
I
of
had
the
my own
Raptors.
way, I would have killed off the Assassin series completely after Black Flag, because they have not improved since then, which was Assassin's Creed 4. And what I would have done is I would have revamped my entire developing team into a I would have partnered with Disney, and I would have worked on an Indiana Jones style. You are a professor and you go and do assassin style things for unearthing modern day tombs. That would have been me.
That sounds different enough to be a different game, which could be
Right?
cool. Which could be cool. And you just have a taunt button that says, "This belongs in a museum. This belongs in a museum."
Yes.
You belong in a museum. I actually think, now that I'm hearing more about this, I kind of agree with that, because they get a lot of flack for, like, there just being, like, extraneous side quests and the UI just being a mess. I think bringing it in and having a narrower focus and having it feel more like a video game versus trying to be the open world expansive RPG with elements of like, it's like they're trying to be a buffet and they just need to be a meal. You know what I mean? There's the food. There's the food metaphor of the episode.
The next game to announce.
We also have to put a pin in this to make sure that we touch about this when we talk about $70 game episode. And we talk about the different prices of games, because this is the first one I've heard of that's a mainline game from a big producer that is going down in price instead of up.
I am going to go to our master list. I'm going to go to our notes. $70 games, are they worth it? PC $70 games.
The real time, like I said, these episodes are not edited. Maybe we should start editing them, but we're probably not gonna. Sonic Superstars, which is the new 2D Sonic game that's coming out right before Mario Wonder. Why? It's like 1993 all over again with Sonic and Mario being out at the same time. They had a multiplayer trailer. The multiplayer looks cool. It's not nearly as robust as Mario Wonder. I wanted to play this game until it was releasing on top of Mario Wonder, and now I'm probably not going to immediately, because it's timing. Timing. But it looks cool. You can play as different characters. You can help each other. You can do all the fun things. Yeah, it looks cool. I've heard good things about people who have played like early access versions. Also, I just think Sonic multiplayer just becomes like pretty chaotic pretty quickly, and it seems like in this game the multiplayer is going to be more like large open areas that everybody sort of has to navigate through. The battle version, the battle mode does look kind of cool. We're gonna have like a large open area with items and equipment and stuff like that. So I will probably play Sonic Superstars at some point, but probably not on release, just because Mario Wonder is like the exact same category of like 2D platformer that's coming out like a week apart or something. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I'll be honest, I did not watch the trailer for this. I'm sort of scrubbing through the trailer right now. Listen, EA. We have the EA logo. We are part of the EA Creator Network. Wild Hearts was a blast. There are other EA titles that I am looking forward to playing. I have not enjoyed a Call of Duty game since Call of Duty 2, the original Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. Facebook cameras are working, Twitch ones are not. Not good, not looking good on Twitch.
What? Oh, I apologize. Sorry. I made full screen in order to make my notes, and it blocked off the cameras.
We are the notes. I haven't enjoyed Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2. I have a lot to say about the Call of Duty franchise that I won't say.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan. I'm sure Nick Yeti will be excited, though. Maybe. 50-50.
My boss will.
Speaking of Nick Yeti, Mortal Kombat 1.
Going way back.
I am interested in this game, but I just don't know if I don't know. Yeah, I will probably play it at some point. It looks really cool. But they announced some new characters. I think they have almost all of the starting roster revealed that they're going to reveal at this point. Are you getting Mortal Kombat? No, a flat no.
I will probably have to because of Lady Sage. My wife likes Mortal Kombat. She's a big Mortal Kombat fan. She has memories of growing up playing the game with her father. So I'll probably go.
I wish there was a good old-fashioned Blockbuster video where I could rent Mortal Kombat and play it for the weekend with you and then make a decision.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But we don't live in that world anymore.
Yep.
I mean, Game Pass to me, Xbox Game Pass is like how I rent games now. If it's on Game Pass, I can rent it for $10 by paying for Game Pass for that month. Also, at GameStop, you can buy pre-owned games and play them for up to, I think, a week. And as long as you return them within a week, you can get a full refund, no questions asked, which is actually what I did with Mortal Kombat 11. But I didn't need the full week to know that I didn't like that game, which is why I'm hesitant about this one. So we'll see. But it looks like a really good game.
Fate Maker says you can drive out to Bend, Oregon, where there still is a Blockbuster.
Ha!
It's the last Blockbuster store still standing.
Yeah, the problem is that they're not going to have a physical... Like, I don't even have a CD drive on my computer anymore. Like, if you're a PC gamer, there's no physical game components anymore. I might drive out to Bend, Oregon just to nostalgia-gasm at that Blockbuster, though, because that sounds lovely. Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty... right there. I'm excited about this. I am as excited for all the quality of life updates as I am for the new content, because they have said that they are reworking all the skill trees, all the abilities, the combat, the melee combat, the AI, the police. They're reworking so much of the base game in an update when the DLC comes out, that they have said this is the game that they wish they could have released originally. Because everybody knows this game
How long has it been?
It's been a while. Right? Not quite as long as No Man's Sky.
Going back to the $7 price thing, and I'm not going to fall into this rabbit hole just yet, but I'm just saying Baldur's Gate paused themselves and delayed themselves, so that they can do it right, and Cyberpunk did this.
But I mean, CD Projekt Red is the like big moment of like, you can't release unfinished games anymore because you will be called out, and they did get called out. I still love Cyberpunk so much. I am definitely going to be playing a new fresh run through when the updates come out. I will probably get the DLC. This is probably what I'm going to be streaming until Mario Wonder comes out after it comes out.
Honestly, if Baldur's Gate views drop off, I would get this game to play side by side.
What do you mean to play side by side?
Is there co-op? That's
No.
what I mean. That's what I mean side by side.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'll play my instance, you play your instance. We can still co-stream and just have different experiences.
It is. I'm honestly surprised you haven't played it yet because I think you would really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I would. The only reason why I have it is because I knew Starfield was coming out and I figured it would consume my time. And I knew that there were other games that I had higher interest in.
I would put Cyberpunk over Starfield every day of the week.
Okay.
In terms of personal preference, I would, yeah. I would. I love Cyberpunk. It's fantastic. You know what you need to do? Here's what you need to do. Go on Netflix and watch Edge Runners.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's good. It's quality.
Oh, they are adding in the original game. You can add whatever augments to your characters you want, and there's no like cyber psychosis. They are adding cyber psychosis into the base game based on how popular it was in the anime. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. It's a good concept.
So
the entire thing. You
will see me playing this game. I'm just talking about it makes me want to play it right now, but I'm going to wait to do another playthrough. The last time I played it, I finished my playthrough. I beat it. It was very satisfying. I'm going to wait on doing a new playthrough until the update happens.
Fate Maker's talking about how the game was absolute trash experience for the first 6 months that it came out. He was one of the PlayStation 4 players who refunded the game because it did not function.
Oh yeah. Well, that's like next level unacceptable. I played it on PC and it was pretty rough around the edges, but it was a totally different experience playing that game on launch on PC versus console.
Yeah,
especially PlayStation 4. It was unplayable. I mean, Fate refunded it. It was warranted. But I am very excited about all the goodies that we're getting.
There's one game that's in the works, that's in the cycle that I am very interested in and I want to play when it comes out. I don't know how to work well on stream. But that's besides the point. I want to be able to play it because I really do like this franchise. But we didn't get any news about it. And that is GTA Grand Theft Auto 6. We know that it's in the works. We know that it's in development. There's been leaks because of it already. It's out there. Like, they are working on it. And it's coming soon. But we have not really heard anything about it.
Yeah.
We did, however, have somebody who rushed the stage to chant and rant about something. Now, this particular incident that happened just recently is being mirrored and compared to another incident that happened last year with Elden Ring. Last year with Elden Ring, some kid got up on stage with the development team to accept the reward, and after they accepted the reward, he stepped forward and said, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my Reformed Orthodox rabbi, Bill Clinton.
So that was that kid, that guy who said that, his name is Matan.
Yes.
Matan Evans. And he's been like a very big like troll internet personality memer. And he got a lot of...
He went to jail. He got arrested.
Really?
For that incident, he got arrested. He got out. He got out, obviously, but he got arrested.
So that put him in the spotlight, and now he has like a social media following. I see him in like clips all the time. Oh, you think you're so smart? Name 10 books. Name 10 books. You don't know how to read.
But somebody else did something very similar and rushed the stage at Gamescom this year.
Poor Jeff Knightley. Like, he's just like, he's so nice. I watched the clip. He's like, that's disappointing. I'm disappointed. Like,
yeah, he got totally interrupted because somebody was like, GTA news, we need GTA news. Where's the GTA news? But like, he was just like, okay, well, that happened. I'm sorry.
Did you play GTA 5?
I played GTA 4 and 5.
Did you play 5 online?
I played GTA 4, and then I went back and played GTA 1 and 3. And then I played GTA 5 when it came out. And I started to play GTA 5 online, but then I got distracted by all the things that we do and never went back to it. They have developed that online experience.
It's crazy because
because
they've been milking it for how many years?
Yeah. There's an entire subgenre of people who just play as if they're the police officer or the taxi driver.
Those are cool. I like those. That would be what would get me into GTA 5, if anything.
I would totally play that.
Sherrod, Jared, our buddy Jared, that's like all he plays. He has it. He has the On We Go Twitch channel. He is like top. He might be top 500. He might be top 100 in the world at GTA 5 racing.
Really?
He is like globally ranked and like a active part. Oh my gosh, an active part of the GTA 5 street racing community. Yes. He races. He races a lot. You can ask him about it on the Discord, and he will tell you.
That's pretty cool.
It looks boring as dry cereal to me after playing like Horizon. But he does it.
Yeah, Fatemaker's right. After that recent release, GTA 6 is like a Fort Knox now. They won't release anything until it's perfect. Many security layers are in place to stop leaks of any kind. Yeah, that first leak that happened
was so rough.
Devastating.
It was so early and it looked terrible, like with all the code and everything.
And because of that, they are not going to allow what happened to Project Red to happen to them.
It's that I think that leak set the game's release back like probably a year from wherever it was going to come out. Our kids will be playing it maybe. But I'm interested in GTA 6 when that comes out. I think that would be something that we could do co-op streams for if we're still alive. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that was in Gamescom news that we're not going to talk about. But it's out there. The one thing that I also want to note is that Tokyo Game Show 2023 is coming up. When are those dates? It's in September. September 21st through the 24th is the Tokyo Game Show. This is like Japan's version of Summer Game Fest. This is where all like the big Japanese companies for games, like this is like the big thing. And there's no E3 this year. So every other game convention thing is getting like super buffed up. Capcom has a 50-minute block of news at Tokyo Game Show.
Yes, they do.
They're going to talk about Resident Evil. I am praying that we get a release window for Dragon's Dogma 2, because I am all about Dragon's Dogma 2 when it comes out. My wish list, I don't even have to tell you what's on my wish list. The next mainline Monster Hunter, we are due. It is almost guaranteed that we will get some sort of news or announcement on the next game in the Monster Hunter series in 20 days. And I have to try not to think about it because I don't want to hype myself up too much in case we get something like a name or a title and no other details. But I'm going to be super excited. We'll probably get more news about some Street Fighter stuff, but we're going to be doing in just about 3 weeks. We're going to be doing another jam-packed news episode like this, covering all that, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be including some Monster Hunter stuff. Okay, that was the final note that I wanted to add, that's coming up, and that I'm going to squee with excitement.
Squee.
What else? I think that's it. I think that's a wrap.
Is there anything from the list that we've talked about, all of the games we've discussed that's coming up soon, that's on our radar? What is the one game? This is our side quest. What is the one game that you are most excited about?
Mario Wonder, easily.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there are some. I'm also very excited about Cyberpunk. Yeah, Hyper Light Breaker. I'm excited about, but that's now next year, so I can.
You can wait.
I can wait. I'm actually glad that it's because it's there's too much stuff. There's too much stuff on top of
too
stuff.
much done. But yeah, I agree. I'm so very excited for Mario, for the family, for myself, for us. Like, I'm excited to be able to.
This is the first Mario, like, main Mario game that's come out that I've been excited for on release.
Yeah.
Mario Maker 2 I was kind of excited about, and I ended up being a little disappointed with. But I can't remember the last time I was counting down the days for a new mainline Mario game to come out. Because I wasn't on the Odyssey hype train because I didn't get a Switch when it released. And the 2D Mario games have all been sort of lukewarm to me. But this one's gonna be a banger.
Fate Maker just goes, so last night I was rushing through a conversation and ended up talking with a squirrel and accidentally challenged it and then chose to kick it because he just kept hitting A, and he rolled a 20 on his attack roll when he kicked it and splattered the squirrel against a rock. My wife busted out laughing. So coincidentally, I did the exact same thing. I was just spamming A. I was like, this is a squirrel! This is stupid! Keep moving! And I ended up killing it.
Even I don't skip through cutscenes in this game. This is not that kind of game. You never know when you are going to have to make a big choice.
Yep.
Killing
that squirrel probably will have a huge impact later on.
Not in our co-op playthrough. We killed all the druids.
That's true.
Yeah, that squirrel scene has become notorious, like, because that's the first point of the game where, like, you get a very big surprise for a choice you make that seems small, and then you're just like, I just murked a squirrel into a bloody puddle. Damn it, now I want to play more Baldur's Gate.
Right.
I don't have time right now. What about you? Mario Wonder is the game for you?
Yeah, Mario Wonder.
The hypest.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I might brush up on my 2D Mario skills. I might go back and play 3D World or Super Mario World or something. Actually, so this Mario Wonder is going to be based on Mario 3, Super Mario Brothers 3. So I might go back. That's one of my least played, like, original Mario games. I might go back and mess around with that leading up. Is there anything else you have to say for yourself?
Nope. I'm good.
You sure? You'd be looking suspicious, though.
Nope. I got no suspicions.
Oh, okay. Then I guess we'll just end this episode, right? Without anything happening.
Just I want to make sure that you all know that we'll be streaming on Tuesday and we'll be streaming on Thursday, our co-stream. And I just want to make sure that everybody remembers what our stream schedule is, because I would hate for you all to miss out on your opportunity to watch the Nintendads.
Does that have a voice changer?
Yes.
Do you know what the leading cause of dry skin is?
The leading cause of what?
Dry skin.
No.
Towels.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Jesus Christ.